What's up, bitches?
Oh my god.
Hello. I just got back from Michigan doing my interview with Mella, and I gotta say, it was fucking awesome. They were super nice and super supportive. This was my first interview ever, and so I was a little bit stuttery, so I'm gonna be trying to work on that in the future, but I did want to put it here in the beginning of the video to kind of preface and warn you that I would be kind of stuttering a little bit, but you might have to be a little bit patient with me, and that might be a lot to ask with people that have rotted brains from TikTok, but you know, it is what it is, and I am gonna do better in the future as I get better with this whole interview shindig, because I do plan on doing more. I don't know, maybe let me know who I should do next, because I really enjoy talking to these people and getting perspective. But yeah, with that, I hope you enjoy this interview, and thank you for watching.
Good? All right. I'm here with Mella. If you would like to introduce yourselves.
I am James, the keyboardist.
I'm Danny, the singer.
I'm Luke, play drums.
Donnie, lead guitar and background vocals.
And yeah, I'm interviewing them, obviously. Okay, so it's a real big honor to meet you guys. I guess I'll get started with the first question. All right. How did you and Mella come to be? Like, how did that name kind of spawn?
Want me to take this one?
Yeah. Sure.
I've always been in bands that don't have real names. I was in a band called High Wreath. I was in a band called Cypress. I am in a band called Cypress, and I liked that. So I made a word that wasn't real and it sounded nice, and that's it. A lot of people think it's like a play on word. It's just that.
There's no back meaning.
No, not at all.
It does roll off the tongue nice.
Thanks.
Cool. What inspired? I already did that one. Sorry. Mella sets itself apart from many projects of the same genre by way of dynamic composition and complex lyrics. How would you describe that kind of process, and how would you get that sound?
I want all of us to answer this. Donnie, you go first.
You said complex compositions and kind of deep lyrical content, things like that. Honestly, a lot of it is just purely based off, I think, our influences. We're influenced by a lot of music that is more harmonically rich, a lot of progressive rock and progressive metal and things like that. A part of it is just kind of like freeing ourselves from having any kind of real limits on what we think is right or wrong. We don't force ourselves to have a verse that goes into a chorus and each of them are going to be 8 bars or 16 bars. We kind of just do whatever feels right in that moment, and it seems to work out. I mean, that's kind of what it's all about. You want to go?
Yeah. Nah, fucking. The lyric thing I'll answer in a sec. I'll start with the music. So Mella was originally supposed to be a solo project, and it turned into much more, obviously, with these beautiful men that I have next to me. But the point of Mella, when I got the idea to start writing songs, it was from the album All's Well That Ends Well by Chiodos. And it's the only album from the emo days that I really came back to. I shed Asking Alexandria, and a lot of all those other bands I shed. I don't really fucking care about most emo bands, if I'm being honest, anymore. But Chiodos stuck with me, particularly that album stuck with me, and I didn't know why. So one day I was self-reflecting and like listening to it 20 years later, and it still feels so fresh. And I realized whenever they do something, it only happens once, and it makes you cherish the part more. And so my brain went, what if there was an album that did that the whole time, or a song that did that the whole time? And then my goal was to create songs that were rhapsodies or close to rhapsodies. And the response has been people affirming exactly that. I can listen to this over and over and over again. It never gets old. That's why. It's because whenever you listen to a song, it's more of a journey and not a, well, this is supposed to go here, and therefore we must put this here because that is musically fucking perfect. And fuck that.
Right, like a pattern.
Yeah, it's
you
boring,
kind of break
and
that.
I don't like it. So I don't know if we'll ever do that. I don't want to ever do that.
Yeah,
ever.
that's actually what I really do appreciate about the music that y'all make. It's like different all the way through. Y'all do have like choruses and all that, but other than that, y'all just kind of run it through, and it's like a story almost. It's very, very beautiful. James, would you like to?
Yeah, I guess the only thing I have to add to that is just I guess a lot of it stems from, well, Danny is just chaotic and cleverly belligerent personality, you know, is just he just kind of goes and he just does whatever he wants to do, and he's just like, yeah, fuck it, we're gonna do it, and when he brings it to us, we kind of just put our own flavor on it. And my favorite bands are Dream Theater and Opeth, so complexity is not, you know, I'm not scared of it at all. I kind of embrace it, so it just kind of came together really well. And Donnie and I have been playing music since we were in 7th grade together.
Right,
so,
I have that in my notes.
Yeah, so it's just really natural. I mean, we don't really try to think of it or try to put we don't really have much intention going into any of this. We just kind of do it, you know.
That's actually a really fucking good point. You mind if I riff off that for one second?
Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
Fucking, the writing process for everything that we've done, and hopefully everything we do, is very fucking stupid. It's very dumb. It's stupid and it shouldn't work, and it's dumb and we shouldn't do it. But so the way it works is I go on a piano and I write a skeleton. By skeleton, I mean basically the entire structure of the song and all the chord progressions. And then I record that onto our DAW, and that's it. And after that, like, I would say 100% of the parts that you hear from James and Donnie are literally the first time they've ever played those parts in their entire lives.
Really?
Yes. Like, everything you're hearing is the first time you ever heard that. We didn't overthink it. We didn't plan it really at all. And the most that I'll say is I'll have an idea of what I want, and I'll kind of guide, but like, truly, none of us know how these songs are going to sound at all until they're done.
Yeah.
That's the cool part about it. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So another thing about us is we all love to talk, and so we're going to be really good in interviews because we're going to go on and on for one question. We're not going to give you some half-baked
I was almost
single
worried.
sentence answer. But sorry, really quick, I just wanted to add on, like, with all the parts that we add, especially the guitar parts, I had never even heard the vocals yet. I don't even know what the vocals sound like at all. I just hear a piano part and some ridiculous drums, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna put some guitar on this, and I just write it on the spot, and that's literally what it is.
I was almost
So anyway, sorry.
Sorry.
No, yeah.
I was almost under the impression that y'all had done those processes separately. Like you guys had come up with the melodies, and then he had put lyrics kind of separately. Because the way they're written, it's like very poetic, and a lot of poems they don't really have that kind of structure that you're
It's all
talking
this guy
about.
right here.
Yeah.
He pretty much does everything, and he goes, hey, make it sound better. And we go, okay.
Well,
They
it's
do.
very impressive. Very impressive.
Last thing, because you mentioned the lyrics, and I never spoke about that. Lyrics. All right, this is gonna get really stupid and sappy and really fucking cringe, but that's okay.
I can appreciate cringe.
So the way that works for me, and why the songs probably, I don't know this, but it's my guess because people are obscenely attached to our songs. Like people, man, I met people when we were young. People were like fucking crying and shit, like giving me hugs. I'm like, Jesus, I'm just here. But I think one of the reasons people connect with this shit is, like, I only write when I'm really, really, really sad, and I'm genuinely thinking about shit. Bless you, Daddy. So what I do, this is true, every part I go to the piano and I try to write what that feeling I'm having sounds like. So, when I was writing Post Nut Clarity, the first part I ever wrote was the end of the song, the little piano outro. And I'm not going to discuss what was related to that, but yeah, that's I think why it's really easy for me to write lyrics, because genuinely the part sounds how I feel. And it's really, really, I don't know, it just helps. It helps me.
I think that's really what I connect with as well, is like how it sounds. Because like you're saying something, but you're also feeling what you're saying through how it sounds, and it's very nice.
I cried like 3 times recording this album.
That's how you know you're doing it right.
I was there. I know.
Yeah, for sure.
He always had a front row seat, poor guy, to my emotional.
Is that for the emotional support?
Yeah.
Did Luke play any part in the kind of beginning of this band?
Yes, but not with writing. That's future Luke. Past Luke, he heard Luke. Tell us how you met us.
Okay, so I can't see the mic, but I'll assume it's there. So, it was when, well, a while ago, when Have You Seen an Alien came out, it like came up on my feed through the ads and stuff, and I was like, oh, some emo shit, cool. It was good, but what really grabbed me was Post No Clarity. For some reason, that one just hit me, spoke to me, and I was like, this shit's gonna blow up. So, I'm in some other bands. I've been, a musician for a very long time, so, part of the game is networking and just growing who you work with. Eventually things work out from there. But anyway, I just, happened to message Danny, and we were just kind of bullshitting about music. I was asking him about his band, and at first I think I was just trying to set up like a tour or something, like a show to come play. And then Danny was mentioning how the band only has like a couple singles and it's just brand new, and I was like, well, damn, you guys are doing great. I eventually was asking like, oh, who's your drummer? And Danny mentioned it was him. So, and then somehow in the conversation, Danny, I think you were saying like, oh, well, you need a live drummer. So I kind of like threw that out there. I would be willing to be on that. And from there, just kind of, worked out. We had Danny get on the Tales of Creature single, if anyone heard that.
That's really good.
And we got Mella hooked up at Voodoo Records up in New York. Awesome studio, super good. But anyway, back to like the structuring of the song. I did want to speak on a little bit, just because I didn't really have a part in writing any of this. Just from an outside perspective, I do agree that the structuring is not normal, but that's what makes it so unique. And just like Danny was saying, there's something to kind of find within it every time you listen to it that will like bring you back, like, oh dude, this part just hits. And then maybe you overplay it, but then you listen to it again, it's like, oh, now I'm obsessed with this part, because it's not that basic song structure, verse, chorus, end, that everyone does. That stuff can be nice and fun to sing along to, but I definitely think this kind of music is like for people that get it, musicians like who are just kind of a little tired of the same old structure sometimes. There's no right or wrong answer when it comes to writing music, but definitely this kind of writing is very unique. I gravitate toward it for sure.
Beautiful. That was really good. Hell
That
yeah.
was very nice.
I wish you could see me, but I love you.
So, I don't know if I misunderstood, but is he with Tales of a Creature as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
I see.
Yes, he's the drummer. I am the singer.
And so y'all kind of like brought it together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. That's very nice.
A lot of collaborations between us.
Yeah.
The intricacies of your sound is undoubtedly a child of talented musicians. How long would each of you say you've been on your respective instruments?
I started when I was 7 years old, so it's been 20 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Luke.
I want to say like 12 or 13. I'm 28 now. It's a long time. Do the math.
Do I answer twice? Because I fucking did drums drums since I was like 5. Singing about 3 years.
About 3 years? Wow. Okay. I wouldn't expect a 3-year answer for how far you've come in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, and for me, with keyboards specifically, I started when I was about 16, getting really serious, so a little over 10 years. With the key and key bass specifically, that was more new because it actually kind of came to me with circumstance. Because the other band, Cypress, we're a part of, we just had a really hard time trying to find a bass player.
Right.
And when we ended up, switching sounds, kind of a more classic rock, we were like, let's just kind of adopt the Doors dynamic, and that kind of trickled to everything that I do now. So
It's
Versus
kind
the
of,
bases, man.
Yeah.
yeah, it's so strange. Nobody wants to play bass, which like I don't really blame them, but
I love bass. I'll play bass guitar.
it's just hard to find the bass.
drums too, man.
I do also play guitar and drums. Yeah.
And I'd seen that.
yeah. Actually, I started with drums when I was about 11.
Right. So you were on that for how long before you got into the keyboard?
A long time before. I started playing drums when I was in 4th, 5th grade. I started getting really serious. Guitar shortly after, about 6th grade.
Okay.
And I didn't start playing any bass or keyboards at all until halfway through high school. Like about 16, 17, I started getting really serious.
And so you guys met in 7th grade. When would you say Danny came along and you all kind of created this dynamic?
2017.
So much later.
Okay, I see.
In fact, I actually met Danny because I went to school with his best friend at the time, Joel, and I actually ended up living with him, Joel, at the time. And I didn't even really know Danny, and he ended up actually coming to one of our other bands, Cypress. He ended up coming to our gigs and ended up being really close friends, and I mean, now he's, our brother, so.
Very nice. Okay, so kind of following that up, like in terms of sound and everything, I bet some of your sound engineering fans would like to know how you kind of make it all sound.
Him.
So,
This is all Donnie.
okay.
Yeah. I'm not like, super professional or anything. I honestly learned from reading a couple books and just hundreds of YouTube videos on how to mix and record and everything. So I personally actually did record the whole album. I mic'd the drums, I mic'd the amps, I pressed play on the on the DAW, and
I pressed play a few times, okay?
That's right. James did press play a few times when I was absent. I'm sorry.
How to sing mid fucking song.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's a lot of pre-production vocally too. I was given a lot of like vocal exercises to do beforehand and all that kind of stuff. So I was always at the helm of that. So how we get the sound that we get, it's fairly straightforward with the miking. I mean, in the actual production, pretty basic. Tactics for miking a drum set. I really love the sound of room mics, so I'll do a lot of like placing mics on other ends of the room and trying to like isolate them. Maybe not the most ideal thing, but for what we have, it's kind of what we have to deal with. So I love the sound of having room mics built into it. And as for guitar amps, I just kind of use a 57 Beta, right on the cabinet. I mean, it's really nothing that special. We honestly like to keep it as natural and raw as we can. That's kind of what we're all about, is getting a very natural kind of live sound to an extent. So yeah, it's pretty simple.
We hate processed shit. That's the one thing I will say is all of us hate overly processed, fake sampled, fucking stupid asshole shit.
It does sound. It sounds very raw. Very raw.
Yeah, that's the kind of the point we're going for. Yep.
Sorry.
So hopefully that answers your question.
No, you're good. That was good.
Yeah.
Luke said facts. We couldn't hear
Okay,
that.
you followed that up with facts.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Well, have you seen An Alien, Please? Is a somewhat subtle yet hilarious nod to Filthy Frank. What kind of drives you to name songs in such a kind of memey kind of way?
Two things. First one is in Chiodos. Little fanboy over here. Fucking Chiodos. They used to do like stupid song titles. They weren't quite as dumb as ours, I would imagine. They were just long.
They're very long, yes.
And I don't know. I like the dynamic of like the whole point of Mella was again. I'm gonna keep bringing it back to this because it's changed a lot, and that's why things started the way they did. But it was originally supposed to be just a side project, and because of that, I thought it'd be funny if I'm writing this shit that literally tears me apart on the inside, and it's more of a satirical, you know what I mean? Just it's a funny contrast between, like, oh, I'm singing about how I really hate myself. Let's talk about e-girl poon. I don't know.
I like to call it uncanny.
Yeah.
It's very uncanny.
It's uncanny.
Like, you look at the song, you're like, what the hell is this? And you listen to it, and you're just like,
This hurts my soul.
wait, I'm not smiling anymore or laughing.
Would you say that kind of helps draw people in?
I would say so. Yeah.
I hope so.
I think it really threw me off my game. Well, when I initially heard you guys, it was from the ad, which I got very happy I heard, by the way.
Thank you.
But I heard that, and then I was like, what is this called? And I looked in like the description and everything, and I was like, that has to mean something. And I looked into it. I'm like, okay, it's this kind of band, and that's where I really got pulled in. Is the names are very
Fuck
funny.
yeah.
But kind of going back to the songs and everything, the first song Danny McCool wrote was Post Nut Clarity, but your creative writing seems to span back as far as and even further than a story called The Race, which you posted on Tumblr in 2016.
Yes.
And this is...
Yeah, I got caught. Dude, I was like 18, all right?
And I did ask you this on, I think the first live I've gone on that you guys were doing. Do you still have those kind of novelist dreams, or have you kind of? Oh, you do. I see.
Yes. I've been writing one book since I was 7. I'm never gonna stop. I don't know. I attribute one of the reasons I'm not gonna say I'm good because it's narcissistic, but I imagine I'm an okay lyricist.
I'll say it. He's good.
Thanks.
I think it's pretty good. I went ahead and read it.
Fantastic lyricist.
Thank you. But I attribute that. It's not just that like I do books. Like I legitimately like bought college level workbooks on my phone, and like just I'm filling out. I want to know what a dangling participle is. I study language. It's what I do. I want to get good. I read books constantly. I'm a huge historian.
Nerd.
Yeah. Fucking so novel writing is, even now I still kind of put it above Mella a little bit. It's like my true passion. I don't know why, but yeah, I would say that it's still definitely a part of me.
I've been lucky enough I went on tour with Danny with his blues guitar player. We were just supporting him for a little bit, and
Funny stories.
We have a lot of funny stories from that. But I was just lucky enough to have a lot of time with him, so he's told me a lot about his novel, and you better do it because it's good.
I'm gonna do it.
You plan on releasing it?
Yes.
Okay,
the
very
first
cool,
book
very
I would say is like 2/3 of the way done.
Ooh, okay, so you're almost there. Halfway.
Yeah.
Not the halfway, 2/3 you said?
Yeah.
Sorry. Let's forget about my math.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Exploring Mella took me to the enigmatic Ghost Boys, each with unique names and meanings. Would you care to go into that, or would you rather leave that in the more cryptic end of your band?
I can do both. I can leave it cryptic and tell you. So I always like, because again it was supposed to be a satirical project where I made fun of myself and shit. I always personify my pain, and I always see them as little dark figures that, like, when I get diagnosed with something that could kill me, or like, you know, I see the girl from my past is like engaged or whatever the fuck, and I hear about something. Whenever something that really like makes me sit and go fuck happens, I imagine some dude, just a bunch of dudes, just fucking poking you pussy, like fucking, yeah, you have feelings, pussy. And that's just how I always pictured fucking evil, awful things laughing at me while I'm fucking down or happy. If I'm experiencing joy, it's like there's always this constant like, you're gonna fucking die, bitch. Like,
So it's almost like this self-doubt. It's like a representation of things you might think about yourself.
yeah, it's how I think of my pain.
That is very deep.
Thanks.
What would you guys consider to be the best introductory song for maybe new listeners that you have coming in?
We can all answer different, I feel like.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would probably just say Post Nut Clarity. That seems like the obvious one, I think. There might be another song that I would choose that isn't released yet, maybe, but I think as it stands, I would say Post Nut Clarity. I think it has really nice intro. It kicks in quickly. It's got a lot of energy. It kind of shows all sides of the band in one song, although a lot of the songs kind of do that. But, but anyway.
Luke, what would you say is a good gateway?
Well, it was Post Nut Clarity for me. You know, a close runner-ups are Suede for E-Girls for sure. Yeah, I don't know, those ones just hit. You know, there's a good reason that those are the singles, I would say. Yeah, definitely check them out, you know.
My selfish answer is E-Girls, because I love that. That's probably my favorite song on the album. My selfish answer is E-Girls. The real answer, fucking I hate Post Nut Clarity. Fucking Post Nut Clarity. I hate that song. Man, I love that song, but
fuck that song. Like,
logically, I will also say Post Nut
Right?
Clarity,
Like-
but I really want to say a song that hasn't released yet
You
because
can
it's definitely my
tell
favorite.
the name, yeah.
Plug it.
It's called I Still Sit When I Pee, actually. That's the name of the song. I love that song. And there's just a lot of keys in it. Like, there's the whole arrangement. It just is such a journey. At the end of the song, you restart it. You're like, this is where it started. It's really cool.
The intro to Donut Sauce is a hook, though.
Oh my gosh, Donut Sauce. I cannot wait for that to drop.
Yeah,
we're actually mixing it right now.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's
sorry.
fine.
Okay. To contrast with my previous question, which, I mean, y'all kind of already answered, but each of y'all's favorites, would y'all say?
Oh, I want to hear Donnie's.
Favorite song on the album?
Yeah, just that.
Man, that's hard to say. I kind of want to reserve final judgment until it's all mixed and done, but I kind of do want to say I Still Sit When I Pee. Musically, it's so rich, but a part of, I kind of also want to say Donut Sauce, because that's the song where I really get to show out myself, and I feel like all of my lead playing in it is kind of like just exactly what I've always wanted to portray myself as, so as a very like selfish answer, I might say Donut Sauce, but
That
yeah.
whole soul section on that is pretty sweet.
It is very.
Yeah, it's just, I'm excited for everyone to hear it, that's for sure. So, how about you, Luke?
Just my favorite song.
Out of all of them.
That was the
He
question.
has all the songs.
Out of all of them?
Yep, that's the question, yep.
I'm going to email him.
Well, it's, I keep talking about Post Nut, but it's probably Post Nut or Sway Diff. It's like, for me, I'm playing them on the drums, so it's kind of like what's like the most fun one to play on the drums. It's probably one of those two.
Cool.
I already said mine. E-Girls, very close second. Very close second. I don't know. I want to say Donut Sauce, but I also want to say I think I'm gonna park right here. Even though that song's more of a, that one's, I don't know. It's really short. It's really weird, but I like it.
Mine is, I Still Sit When I Pee, but a close second would be Sway Diff for me. I love Sway Diff.
That's got to be like top 3 for
Yeah.
me so far, yeah.
Sway Diff personally for me, because I think I had the most to do with writing keyboard parts in that song. A lot of the other songs were mainly just, this is what Danny played and I'm playing it now, which is great. I love the parts. But that one, I wrote a lot of other parts to that one, which I like.
And the intro to that is actually, there's so much potential for, icon status. It's like, okay, that's
Thank you.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
My cousin's smiling. Wherever he is, smiling.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to name drop the album here. Or So I've Been Told is a conceptual album. What is it about, if you would care to go into that?
It's about life outside of high school, immediately outside of high school, because no one talks about it. And I think that's arguably more traumatizing, because you're still going through shit, but it's worse. And now no one gives a fuck. There's like support groups if you're fucking 16. People will stop the country. They'll be like, oh, you had a feeling? Let's talk about all of the feelings you have. If you're 18, they go, fuck them. Go to work and shut the fuck up. Kill yourself. So, yeah.
It's like black and white, really, coming out of high school. It's like, it seems a lot more dull.
No one
when you
has
get
any
out of high
empathy
school.
for you. You're alone. And even if you're not alone, believe it, you are. Like, you'll have friends, but, you're going to you're going to fall in love. She's going to fuck someone else. That's going to hurt. You're going to maybe get married. Then you're going to get divorced. Like, it's always fucking something. And the whole point of the album is, and it builds, like, not necessarily as it's not as, like, linear as, like, another great concept album, which I imagine everyone here knows, Wake by Hail the Sun. Yeah, like, that one is more to the point. They make death an interwoven theme throughout the entire album. This album, it's not necessarily like that. It's like a journey to adulthood, like actual adulthood. Like, I would say mid-20s. Because like 18, you start, and you're like naive as fuck, and you have a bunch of bad habits. That's Have You Seen Alien, Please? And then once you realize your bad habits, you realize you're contributing to it, the world you're in. That's, I think I'm gonna park right here. And then E-Girls is the world as it influences you starts to affect how you treat the people you love. That's E-Girls. And then, like, wallowing in it and realizing the unrealistic expectation of being an adult male that likes women. Almost said vagina. That's I Still Sit When I Pee. Post-Nut Clarity is kind of feeling remorse, but not enough to stop. And then Donut Sauce is about how that affects your family and how that in turn affects how you treat other people. And then Hentai is pure fucking hatred. It's just being resentful of everyone and everything and manipulating people because you might as well, because they're going to do the same thing to you if you don't do it to them first.
By the way, you did hear that correctly. The song is called Hentai.
Yes.
Good.
And the last one is self-reflection and realizing that the only way you can live a fulfilling life is by holding yourself accountable. And that's the sun don't shine in Ohio. And the last song, Sway Diff, is my conclusion on what it means. And basically, Sway Diff to me is about accepting that life is shit, but that doesn't mean that it's not worth living.
Okay, so it's sort of a happy ending. Was that chronological?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Oh, wow, I guess it was. Yeah, totally forgot. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Is that how it's going to be released, if you don't mind me asking?
Released? No, that's up to the label.
Okay, I see. Well, with that, how do you intend for this kind of release to affect the scene?
I don't know anymore.
Hopefully greatly. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
Right. That's the plan.
Yeah. I'll give my answer after you.
You know, it's funny being someone like me because I've never been too familiar with this scene. You know, I didn't grow up on this kind of music, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, like, 99% of my music taste is like 90s and before, and that's like early 90s, like mostly 70s is like where my music influences are from. So it's like, it's funny stepping into this scene and seeing that, for one, it's still vibrant. There's a lot of bands that are still very successful in it, which I didn't even realize, to be honest. I didn't know that it was even still a thing. So bringing this style of music into it with these influences, for me, is exciting, because it's almost like we're just laying, hopefully, I don't want to sound cocky, but just laying some kind of bombshell into like what it has been, you know? So we're trying to bring a whole new flavor to this genre of music. Like, a lot of the more heavy metal aspects that it's based in are pretty non-existent. I wouldn't say there's very much metal influence in Mella. You know, the screaming and growling, we're not doing that. I don't drop tune my guitar and use super heavy distortions. I use kind of lighter overdrives with standard tuning on Fenders, and we have E-piano, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of like more classic elements in it. So hopefully that, to me, I want that to be the thing that kind of just kind of, you know,
Right, because
shells the whole thing.
It's almost like the scene is dead, but whenever you're really looking at it, whenever you actually get up close to it, it's like, wow, there's so much going on here. And I never realized that until like a couple years back. And it was like, this is really good stuff. And that kind of like changed everything about how I perceived music, you know what I mean?
Sure.
You asked, I'm sorry, the question was?
Sorry, I took you out of it.
No, it's fine.
Would you like me to reread?
No, I think I got it. It
Okay.
was how do we think it'll impact the scene? I can never just give a fucking answer, can I? I don't know anymore, because I didn't think this was going to be famous at all. I didn't think it was going to explode the way it did. And not only has it exploded, but like, I didn't think that I would now be friends with a lot of my favorite singers growing up. I didn't think that I would now like find out that people I listened to when I was like 15 are fans of me and what I've written, and they think that this is going to change like everything, like, not everything, but that, like the words we've been told about the potential for Mella and what they see in Mella. I mean, you gotta remember, I wrote these songs to be fucking stupid. I wrote these songs just because it was selfish. It was all selfish. I just wanted to have an outlet. I didn't have any outlet to do anything, and I had a lot of dark thoughts. So how is it gonna impact the scene? I'm actually scared a little bit. There's no going back. After the album's out, I'm a little scared. I've never sang in front of a crowd before, and now my first show ever is gonna be in front of hundreds of people and my favorite singers. So like, it's how is the album going to affect the scene? Probably, at this point, selfishly, probably a lot. It's probably going to have a significant impact. If not, then I'll eat my words and I don't have to be scared anymore.
Right.
Yeah. You want?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Luke, do you have anything to add?
As far as impacting the scene, yeah, I think it's gonna have a pretty big impact. You know, I am super picky when it comes to music, and you know, when I heard this stuff, you know, it was like, man, nothing really grabbed me for a while until like this. You know, it takes some talented peeps to grab my ear. So, and I'm not like over here be my ear's great. No, I'm just picky, and not everybody else is. But I think my pickiness will, you know, in my mind, is going to reflect on how it's going to affect the scene. I think people are going to just go crazy for this, and you know, this is just the start of it. There's a lot more to come in the next couple of years. So. Mm-hmm. Buckle up, kids.
I'm looking forward to it.
For sure.
James, you last.
Yeah, I guess I don't really have anything to add much to that, but I'm just really excited to bring key bass and all these 70s sounding keyboards to this scene. I'm just so excited for it because clearly it's a really big part of the sound of Mella. And once you listen to the album, there's a lot of moments where it's me playing keyboards and Danny singing over it, which doesn't happen often in this scene. And I'm just really excited to bring that whole perspective to this. And I'm excited for people to go, where the hell is your bass player? And I'll be like, it's right here. It's my keyboard. I'm just excited for all that.
It's very cool because y'all don't have like a lead in the traditional sense. It's like
Well, Danny would be the lead for sure.
Right,
but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like a lead guitarist more so.
Sure,
Yeah.
They kind of trade. Sometimes you'll take a little bit more of a lead part when it comes to keys.
Sometimes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he'll like throw in a little lick.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Very nice.
We harmonize a whole solo in Hentai, which is fun.
That is awesome.
How long did that take? That's just my own curiosity.
The harmonized solo?
Yeah.
He just improvised a solo, and then next week I came into the solo and said, that sounds good, and then it was like my first or second take. It was very quick. That's kind of like how we do it. We don't really think about it. We're just like, we just think something sounds cool, we try it. If it works, sweet. If it doesn't, we'll move on, you know?
You really are hearing like the first attempt at almost everything.
Yeah.
Do you think that's like an important aspect to making songs? Is maybe just letting go of your pride a little bit?
For us?
Yeah.
For me personally, it's huge. I don't like to think about what it's gonna be or how people are gonna hear it. I just want to think about making stuff that sounds cool.
When you try it, it's usually ass.
Right.
Yeah, because then you set an expectation. It's like, I can't get it.
We
right.
have to do this. We have to do that. I don't really do that. I don't like doing that. But
what's nice is all of us are very avid songwriters, so we all have a very keen view of how this is going to sound and how it's all going to come together.
We've also all been playing together for like 8 years, so it's.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
This is kind of funny. Like, this is going to sound bad. I don't want this to sound bad, but it's just the truth. I mean, for most of my life writing music, I've always put a lot of very meticulous effort into every detail. For Mella, this is the least effort I've ever put into anything musically. Like, I'm sorry, it's just the truth. Like, I love it, and I feel happy that I did it, but, I mean, honestly, he would just say, okay, your turn to do the guitars. I'd listen to it, play, and be like, that works. Let's just throw it on there. You know what I mean? I didn't really sit there and, is that the whatever? I mean, I didn't, whatever. So
That's awesome.
It's funny. It's funny playing off that. It's like, because we're obviously we're preparing for this tour, so we're going through all these songs. And Donnie and I were just talking the other day. It's like we did this whole thing so quickly. It's like when we relearn these songs, we really both feel like we're relearning them again for the first time.
Yeah.
We're like, wait, did I really play that? Like, oh, okay, it's nice.
a lot of improv on this.
Yeah.
A lot of improv.
Yeah.
Almost all improv.
So, like, about your shows, how did that... Okay, so, sorry. This is, like, outside of this, so this is, like, kind of personal. So, you got this thing with Hail the Sun very recently.
Yes, we did.
Did that have anything to do with how well you sold on your first show?
No.
No? Oh, I see. It's very separate,
No.
I see. Okay, I won't push too hard on that.
You can.
Okay.
A lot of faith is what that is.
Yeah.
In us.
Real quick, very abject thank you to Donovan Malero from Hail the Sun and Kill Iconic. Thank you very much.
And Kurt Travis.
Yeah, and Kurt Travis.
And our manager, Kurt Travis.
Yeah, Kurt
I love you very
Travis.
much.
You reached out to y'all? Donovan?
Yeah. Yes.
Nice. Okay. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Y'all been in any contact with any records?
Record labels?
Record labels, sorry, yeah.
Yes. All right, so this is assuming gonna come out after.
Right.
Yeah, we actually had, I'm not gonna say who, but we had two labels fighting over us for a minute. We ended up doing what we thought was best for Mella. I feel comfortable saying now, I mean, we are negotiating with Kill Iconic. That's one of the reasons why I said thank you to Donovan. And he really sees a lot of potential in us, and that, first of all, is flattering as fuck. I went from, just being a dude. I mean, I still am a dude, but like, I went from just being a guy that didn't know if he even knew of my existence to being able to like say his name, like, you know what I mean,
like almost a first
yeah,
name basis.
it's fucking, it's weird and cool, but yeah, we Kill Iconic, based on a lot of musicians we know that are signed to Kill Iconic, and also just what Donovan has laid out in front of us. It's such a, for lack of a better word, kind deal. And it seems like they really give a shit about their artists. Like, they really, actually, truly care. Because we were talking to another label, I'm not going to say who, but, like, that label, I mean, it's a night and day difference, the contracts that we got from each one, So, yeah, we're talking to, we're in the middle of signing right now, kind of, with
Was the
Kill
choice
Iconic.
kind of obvious to you?
Not at first.
I see.
Not at first.
Not at all.
When everything was laid out in front of us, it became obvious.
Too. Concerning your health, do you think that's gonna like your throat polyps and your ulcerative colitis? Do you think that's gonna have like an impact on how you perform in the studio
Yes.
or on stage?
Yes, it already has.
Oh, it already has.
Yeah, like, I recorded the last 2 songs on the album vocally with ulcerative colitis, with no medication. That was hard. It's hard. It's actually already affected me and Donnie doing vocal lessons. It's hard for me to, when you're singing, when you're at least practicing, you're trying to train yourself to sing from your gut, and my gut is inflamed, so it fucking hurts like a motherfucker.
What does it feel like? It's like being stabbed.
It's like a sore feeling right here, and when you exhale, you just feel it like right fucking even right now. Taking deep breaths hurt, and I have to sing really high, and that's hard. But the polyp thing, the polyp's gone. Nodes are more of a thing that I'm worried about, but because my diet has had to change relatively drastically, I don't really get acid reflux as much as I used to. But yeah, I'm really nervous about the ulcerative colitis. It's actually like a big fear of mine right now.
Right.
Because we have all these, like the Hail the Sun gigs, as big as they are not, those aren't confirmed yet. I'm not going to talk about it. We have a lot of shit that we have planned out after that even.
Like, and it like way.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like, shit that I still can't believe we got these opportunities, but I have a lot of fear because I haven't even really gotten on my regimen yet for healing. I'm not in remission. I'm still having problems. And I don't know when I'm getting my medication. We also don't know how it's going to affect me. So I have to kind of go on tour hoping to God that I can even do it. You know what I mean? I'm going to force myself, but like, for a minute there, it was so bad that I was pretty confident that it's already affected. Like, we were supposed to rehearse, couldn't do it this week. I didn't meet up for any of our planned like meetups this week at all. I also just got food poisoning, and that's like throwing a grenade into people with UC. So, yeah, it's definitely scary, and it has affected us, and I assume eventually it's going to affect us in the future. It's just kind of how it is.
Is it like a chronic thing, or does it like? Oh man,
I got it for life. There's no cure.
Damn, I'm sorry.
It is what it is. It's an autoimmune disease. It's very treatable. I have a mildish case, which is insane, because if this is mild, I don't ever want to know what the fuck severe is. Like it was already pretty debilitating. But it's funny. I just got diagnosed like a month ago, and like a month later, all the most important things of your whole life are gonna happen all at the same time. Don't fuck up. Yeah.
I think you're gonna kill it, man.
I appreciate it.
We got a lot of people on our side, which we have.
This last question.
Yeah, well, just dox the doctor if they don't give you my shit.
I mean, it's a good thing you already built like the fan base before all this.
Yeah.
Shit, right?
Yeah.
For each of you, who would you say you take inspiration from the most? Because I feel like that plays a big part in how these songs come together.
My biggest inspiration for guitar, I would say, I'll name 4 if that's okay. Steve Howe from Yes, Steve Rothery from Marillion, Robert Fripp from King Crimson, and Scott Henderson from a lot of things. It's just a jazz guitar player, so those are
Those are very good.
For me, just pretty much a lot of hardcore and mathy stuff, you know. Obviously, like Hail the Sun and those swancore bands. But yeah, probably the biggest ones is like Cianbar and a lot like Birds. Joe Arrington is a fucking beast drummer, dude. I love his style, you know. There's a lot of guys that can play those crazy chops, but I think what separates the men from the boys is like how you influence your parts like with the rest of the band, how you come together as a whole, you know. It's good to show off and stuff, but you gotta like find those spots where it's the right moment or the wrong moment, you know, when to pull back or when to do your chops. I think he does a really good job at it. Guys like Forrest Rice, you know, I just love that kind of music. Sean, stuff like that's really cool. You can't really hear me on this Mella album because I didn't do any of the drums, but you know, you can hear me on the Tails and my Haven State band. Quick little plug. You'll hear me on the next Mella album though, supposedly.
Correct.
According to Danny.
Correct. I won't let you not. James, I want you to go.
Okay. You know, I don't have like a whole lot of like. There's not like I have keyboardists that I've listened to a lot throughout the years, but there's not like I'm not really like I don't idolize a lot of people like that. Like I don't know if it's probably not great, but I guess Keith Emerson was a big one growing up. Honestly, the biggest one when it comes to how I play is 100% Stevie Wonder, which might be a surprise to a lot of people. But when it comes to how I play, and especially the bass and the stuff, like Stevie Wonder's a huge influence on me for that.
Now that you mention it, I can actually like hear it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There's a couple songs that haven't been released that really shine in that sense. But yeah, I don't know. I just try to listen to as much things as I can. Jacob Collier actually is someone I have to mention, especially as of late. He's a big influence in just like sound creation and voice leading and stuff for me. So, yeah.
Understood.
Best voice, probably like I don't even like him, not as a person. I don't like his music, but I have to acknowledge he's like probably the greatest musician in the entire world right now. Like he kind of just is. Like he can do literally more with his fingers than I can do as a drummer with my whole body. I'm not even joking. Like, you saw that thing he did, the polyrhythm thing, where every finger was doing a different fucking rhythm.
It was like,
like
2 over 3 over 4 over 5 over
he's
6
insane.
polyrhythm all at the same time.
In terms of technical proficiency,
Yeah, like I don't even like his music, and even I acknowledge it. But influences, I'm gonna answer it with 2 things: my musical influences, and then my vocal influences. Musical influences, it's Chiodos at the top, which is a shock to no one who knows me. And then surprisingly, no post-hardcore bands. Maybe the Sound of Animals Fighting. I actually don't listen to post-hardcore very much in my spare time, unless it's like Hail the Sun, Chiodos. Like even when I was an emo kid, I was very selective. I was never like, I fucking hated Taking Back Sunday. I'm sorry. I hated Fall Out Boy. I hated all that shit. Fucking Alexis on Fire. I never liked it. I mean, it's in the vein. Hardcore. I consider that shit all the same. Pop punk.
I think that's like the same vein. Yeah.
Yeah.
Different sound.
Yeah, 100% different sound.
Yeah.
But like it pervaded into post-hardcore for sure.
Yes.
You know what I mean? With Hawthorne Heights and shit like that. Fucking I just never liked the 45 caliber love letter straight from my heart. I never liked that shit. I was always into the more avant-garde, weird shit like Sound of Animals Fighting, Circa. And even though Circa technically isn't post-hardcore, they always get put in that category. I think it all stems from fucking like pop punk and all that shit. But you know what I mean?
I really don't know.
You know? Yeah. But so even like in my spare time now, I don't really. I've had to name my influences. I would say it's weird shit like video game music and like one of my vocal influences as well, Aurora. I love Aurora. She's like probably my favorite artist ever, pretty much. But my vocal influences are very post-hardcore. It's Craig Owens, Anthony Green, Melanie Martinez, not post-hardcore.
Yuko Shimomura,
Yeah, yes.
Kingdom Hearts music.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Aurora, as I already said. And
Billie Eilish too, isn't that a big one for you?
yeah, she's been kind of going up and down on the list.
I thought
but-
she was.
No, she was.
That one album a lot though, right?
Yeah, yes. Billie Eilish, yeah, I'll put her on there. But I have, and Chester Bennington, I have to put him on there. He's the one that made me want to start singing in the first place. But yeah, those are my influences. They're a little weird. They're not as post-hardcore as people would probably imagine. Which I guess we all have that a little bit in common. I had a little bit in the scene. I liked a little bit of post-hardcore emo shit, but like I never was a part of like all my friends were into, the popular stuff, and I tried to listen to it. Like I tried listening to like Of Mice and Men and shit like that. It's not bad. They're very talented musicians. I just never liked it. It never really spoke to me. Like I can yell. Look what I can do. I can fuck yeah, dude. I appreciate you. Just not for me.
It's like a respect.
Yeah,
but not
I respect it.
necessarily-
Yeah, I respect it. I don't apply it at all. I don't consider it to be an influence at all. But yeah, that's basically it.
I'd actually noticed, going back to the OSTs, that James, you actually love to cover OSTs from like Zelda and Kingdom Hearts and all that.
Yeah, I didn't know what OST was, so now I just put that together.
Original soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't consider that to also be some sort of influence?
I mean, sure, yeah. I don't know if probably passively. I don't think I actively put a lot of that into my songwriting, but I'm sure it's pretty passive.
It's like a subconscious kind of...
Yeah,
No,
like
I agree with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't mean to do it. I just
Yeah,
know that
right.
I know it's there. Like when I listen to my own piano parts, I'm like, oh, Kingdom Hearts. Like,
yeah. Yuko Shimomura is a big one.
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're just about at the end. The only real question I have left, we kind of already covered this, but how do all of you feel? Because we kind of just went over how Danny was feeling about it. But how do all of you feel about getting to work with big names like Hail the Sun?
Oh, dude.
Well, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, obviously, I've said multiple times in the interview that I've been pretty ignorant to this whole genre, and I never really grew up listening to it. But obviously, becoming aware of these bands, and I do listen to Hail the Sun now, and I do really like a lot of their music, and it's like, I mean, it's absolutely mind-blowing. At first, if you would have told me these names years ago, I would have been like, well, who was that? To be honest, I didn't know who these guys were, but now that I realize who they are and what they've done and the legacy that they've created, being able to work alongside them and talk to them and kind of build together with them, I'm incredibly honored and very excited about it. It's incredible, so yeah.
Luke.
Yeah, super incredible. Hail the Sun has always been a big influence ever since I listened to Wake. That album really kind of changed my perspective of music. I used to be a metalcore guy. I did like Of Mice and Men and Asking Alexandria and stuff back in the day. But I went to college for music, and I was just growing as a musician, and like that stuff kind of became a little stale. And I heard Hail the Sun, and then I kind of went just down the rabbit hole. Covet, Fall of Troy, Birds, all these like super overstimulating sounds, and I'm so hooked on that stuff. And now to be able to play with these guys is just amazing. I've always tried to go out to these shows when they come to my home city and, do my networking thing. So to be able to like put this in front of these guys and have them be excited for it, and for myself to be a part of it now, it's a dream come true.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess just an extension of what they've already said. I haven't personally been super into this scene as well, kind of in Donnie's boat here with that, except for Hail the Sun. Danny showed me Hail the Sun while we were on tour, actually, with that guitar player I was talking about. And, they're now my top 10 favorite bands. I love Hail the Sun. Wake and Mental Knife are very close to me. So
It's got to be in my top 5, too.
Yeah, I love it. And, I'm just so incredibly honored, and I am practicing my ass off, and I hope I'm good enough for it. That's really, that's kind of, it's so awesome. So I'm just trying my best to do my due diligence to have this opportunity to make sure it's worthwhile. So, yeah.
Well, your diligence is doing. You're doing your diligence.
Thank you. Yeah, I am doing my diligence.
You done did it, dude. Wait, so, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. Fucking,
super fan.
Yeah, I dude, if you were to tell me, because the first time I saw Hail the Sun was in 2015, 2016. They were playing at one of the worst the worst bar in all of Michigan. It's called the Ritz. It doesn't exist anymore because they found out
the Ritz?
Yeah, they got rid of it. They bulldozed that piece of shit.
Yeah.
They fucking. They found out the owner was like laundering money from a school, and they had to. He was a piece of shit.
I'll interview that guy
That
next.
wasn't the owner. Out there.
No, not the owner. Some guy.
Anybody?
Wait, who was it?
It was one of the promoters, but
What was it?
That's a whole thing.
No, no.
Wasn't the owner, but yeah.
It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Fucking, anyway, I hate that place. But Hail the Sun, they were tiny enough at the time to play it. It was only like me and like 30 other people, and like that was crazy. I don't know that the fact that they are now huge, and my first tour ever is gonna be opening for them is. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't even know how. It doesn't feel real. It feels fake. Mm-hmm. Like it feels fake. Even seeing the flyer, I was like, this isn't real. I see our name, and I don't know. I feel like there's supposed to be like a glowing orb around it, and angels come and tickle my nose. I don't fucking know. That's what I thought was gonna happen, but really, all I felt was like, this is fake. It feels like I feel like a fraud. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like imposter syndrome almost?
I don't know. I have no. It's a good thing. I'm excited and I'm happy, but it's so like, it's been a year. We did this for a year, and out of nowhere.
The quickness is a big
Yeah,
thing.
It is very impressive.
It's like fucking emotional whiplash. I don't know how to,
Yeah.
because it's not just Hail the Sun. It's the label. It's the fact that, again, I'm now on first name basis with a lot of my favorite singers from my youth. Like like Kurt Travis, you know, Joseph Arrington, who's in my opinion, one of the best drummers in all of post-hardcore history. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's crazy, and I hope that when I step on stage for the first time, I'm overcome with that feeling that I guess I've been chasing, which is, I don't know, just the ability to appreciate what the fuck we've built.
Yeah.
That's it.
But it just doesn't.
Sorry,
I just wanted to add this is kind of like an important part of our whole lore. I would say it's kind of a funny part of it, but the simple truth of it is that when this all first started, you know, we were already working in a band that was completely separate. He kind of just came to us and was like, "Hey, like, I'm writing these songs, and I would really love for you to help me with them. And they're just songs that I wrote, and blah blah blah." And you know, I hear all these crazy sections that seem nonsensical, right? All I know is like the drum parts and the keyboard parts. I don't know the vocals. I can also hear that this song is called Post Nut Clarity. This song is called all these goofy titles. Like, it didn't even seem like he was taking it that seriously. You know what I mean? Like, at first it was like, it didn't feel serious. It was kind of like a jokey thing on the side at first. And then that happens to be the thing that got here. So it's so funny how that worked. It wasn't like we had some serious endeavor. We were like, all right, we're going to put this together and we're going to get there. No, it was kind of just a joke at first. And not to you, obviously, but I'm just saying, like, that's how it felt, you know?
And you're right, after all the shit that I've done.
Right, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of just how it felt at first. Like, I didn't understand what was happening at all. So it's just... I mean, at this point, obviously, we all take it very seriously, and it's very legit. But at first, I just didn't really know what to think of it. So it's pretty awesome.
Can I expand on that?
Yeah, of course.
Would you guys feel comfortable with me kind of going over the fact that, like, you know, it was a little bit tumultuous at first, navigating?
Yeah, sure.
Is that okay?
The truth
right.
is the truth, man.
All right. It was very scary, because truth is, Mella probably shouldn't exist. I'm saying, like, circumstance-wise, in terms of ratio, like, what are the odds? It shouldn't exist even now.
Yeah.
It really was. I didn't technically have any band members because they were helping me. They're my friends. We were in another band. That was the committed band, and that's how I viewed it.
Right.
I viewed that as the committed band. We were in Cyprus, and like, I was just trying to exercise the demons. I had some extra money because I worked a lot throughout COVID. I saved up quite a bit of money, and I wanted to give it a chance. I didn't put any more money than I did at the time in Cyprus. I put about the same. Aside from I did an extra music video. Like, immediately I got a polyp. The same month we released Have You Seen Alien Please, I got a polyp. When I say I couldn't talk, I mean I literally couldn't talk. It wasn't like I couldn't sing. Singing was out of the question. Being able to speak at this volume was out of the question. And then I had a death in my family, and Mella, while I'm going through all this tumultuous shit, my dad, we were having some problems with him. While I'm going through all this tumultuous shit, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to sing. Mella just kept getting fucking bigger, and it wasn't even I stopped running ads. It wasn't even like I was pushing it, really. It just, people kept showing other people. Our analytics kept growing by like 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. And we only had 3 songs recorded, and the album wasn't even, I wasn't even finished writing it. But all this to say, like, at any point, this probably should have and could have stopped. And then, as Mella got bigger, I mean, it's a relationship. Like, at the end of the day, I didn't know where James and Donnie really stood, because, and rightfully so, it was a side project. And we had been in a band at that point for 6+ years. Yeah. Like, it was very difficult for any of us to process, because it was getting huge, unnoticed. You couldn't not notice how quick it was becoming its own entity and didn't even belong to us anymore.
Yeah, I was a little bit apprehensive, to be honest, at first, about being serious about it. I was like, well, what the fuck? You know, we have a band and this is a side thing, but it's doing so well. So honestly, you know, sorry, I don't make you be, I wasn't going to say a lot, but at first I was a little bit like distanced from it. I didn't really understand it, and I didn't really want to be that serious with it. And that's just like the hard truth of it. I kind of went through a little bit of a phase where I was like, I don't know if I want to do this because this is going to take away from what we've been working on, and this wasn't supposed to happen. This was supposed to be just a little fun thing on the side. But obviously, after seeing what's happened and just becoming more in love with the music that we're making together and just seeing like the magic between us in this style of music, obviously, I mean, pretty quickly I flipped and was like, well, wait a second. We have to put all of our effort into this and just do it because this is incredible. The band Psychers that we've been talking about, we don't want to say too much about it because it's still a work in progress, but it's still going to exist. We have a lot of plans for that for the future, but for as it stands right now, this is what it is, and it's going beautifully well. I don't know if you want to add anything.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same thing with me. Donnie and I both kind of went through a little lull where we were both kind of apprehensive about it, and we were like, we really want to do Cypress. This is what our thing is, and both of us straight up told him that we weren't going to be full-time members. We did, and that was kind of marinated for probably a month or two until we decided, you know what, no, we're in this. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It was a very tumultuous start. I didn't at that, and you gotta remember from my perspective, that's 2 months where like, I didn't imagine you have thousands, like actually it's not even a flex, thousands of like diehard, like people that tell you they cry, you save their life every fucking day, like thousands of fans, and you weren't even trying to have them, and they're begging you for more shit. They're like, please, like, when are you gonna tour? When are you gonna do this? And you know, my two musicians, I'm like, I don't know. And there was no animosity. I want to make sure that's abundantly clear.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I didn't blame them. They didn't come from this world that I accidentally thrust them in.
Right.
And I don't blame them at all. And I'm thankful as fuck that my two best friends are doing this with me.
Oh, yeah, dude.
But like, it was very scary for me because for a minute there I was the only member of Mella. It was scary because like they were still gonna help me with the album. Like that was never. These are the nicest, most genuine dudes I've ever played music with in my life. So like there was never any like animosity. It's not like, oh, we're not gonna help you. We're all best friends and we're never gonna leave each other. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
But it was scary as fuck for me. I didn't. At the 2 months of people. At this point, Mella had gotten huge. At that point, I had just put that casual story out that I was gonna be at When We Were Young, and there was a line of people waiting to meet me. And then they were like, when are you gonna play shows? And I'm like, I don't even have musicians right now, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Luke rolled down the tube a little bit later, but as like a full-time kind of member. But that aspect of Mella can't be forgotten. How important the fans truly are, not just not to us being able to make enough money to live. Like truly, like you guys forced us to pay attention to this joke. Like
true.
Genuinely,
That's
like
a good way to put it. Actually,
seriously,
yeah.
you guys forced us. Literally, it's not a joke at all. You made like without you guys, literally, I couldn't have done it. Like we wouldn't have had the push. I wouldn't have had the push. I mean, I'm sitting there not able to talk. My friends don't want to do the music with me. Like no money. My fucking, my family's falling apart. I'm having to pay bills that aren't even my responsibility just to keep people I love alive. And it's like, all it takes is a bunch, just sometimes all it took was just a comment randomly from a fan that touched me in a way that like, I don't know, maybe this is more than just me being sad with melody behind it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the lore.
Yeah. Right.
Very, very deep lore.
Yeah.
It really
kind
is.
of crazy that what you perceive to be a joke turned into something so large, and it kind of reminds me. Sorry, we're going back to South Park here, but the Kanye episode with the fish sticks.
Yeah.
It turned into like this big thing, which is super incredible. And it's like, what are the odds? You know what I mean? It's,
Very
So we do have kind of a melancholy beginning.
Yeah.
But I do think it was like more than just chance with you guys. Like we said before, it was. You get this very cool sound, very unique sound. Despite, I see a lot of people on like your lives being like, "Oh, you sound a lot like this person or this person." I don't really hear it in terms of like your unique sound.
Thank you.
I don't think anybody else really covers that.
Thank you.
And I think that's where you'll really shine, is how unique you are.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Cool.
anything we want to say to the fans? If any fans watch this, sorry, I don't have a lot of.
What should
people
we
on me.
say? Buy our merch. Fucking chill.
I'll be the first in line.
I mean, I think we've kind of said it a million times in indirect ways, but I mean, thank you so much. Without you, this would have not even come close to what it is now, let alone what it will be. So, thank you.
Yeah.
I do have one more question. Feel free not to
Please
answer because it is.
answer. Yeah.
It's a. Sorry, I'll just ask. So, are you guys allowed to? Because like your album that's being created right now, you have kind of control over this whole thing because it's not with the label, right?
This album is gonna.
It is going to be with the label.
Oh, so you can't say anything about a release date?
We cannot.
Okay.
That's completely up to the label. And again, we wouldn't have done it. We had no intention of doing it, but the deal was so sweet.
Yeah.
Not money-wise, just in terms of just generosity. It would be stupid not to take it. And I think once the fans see what happens in the next 5-ish months, that's not a release date. I'm just throwing out words. But like the near-ish future. The near to long-term future, I think they'll understand why we went the route we did. It's going to make it that much better, seriously. Like, the shit that is in store is, we can't really wrap our heads around it.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm sure everybody's looking forward to it.
hell yeah,
Hope so.
same.